What's going on? This your boy, Chris Simmons, coming to you with another podcast episode on this special episode with another special guest who is currently in Mexico, in the Mexico, which is better than, it seems like it's nicer than where I'm at, which is in Kent, Ohio. It's raining, so it looks like it might be a little warmer where she at. But this guest for real is, she's a mindset coach and she is on a mission to help women get unstuck and feel confident in themselves and love their life. So without further ado, let me introduce y'all to Miss Alexa Martin. Alexa Martin, what's going on with you, girl? How you doing?
Thank you so much for that introduction. It is not cold and rainy here. It is warm and sunny, but I am doing really well, really well. Happy to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, usually, I like to chop it up, before my episodes, but she said, I don't want to do small talk. She said, I want to get right into it. So I said, okay, we're going to get right into it. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Every guest is different. So anyway, now here's how I'm going to start this conversation. Since you do try to help people to feel confident in themselves, and that goes along with our topic today, we're going to talk about self-confidence. We're going to try to talk about self-confidence. So, Alexa, I love that name, honestly. I love that name because actually, like our apartment, we got an Alexa. So my roommate, he always be using the Alexa, what is it, the voice thing or whatever it's called, blah blah blah. I don't know. Yeah, he'd be screaming, he'd be like, Alexa, turn on the light. I'm just like, bro. But anyway, so like since you do help people, try to feel confident in themselves, how do you specifically do that? Like, what are your methods? How do you make people feel confident in themselves?
Well, so many different ways. First of all, great question. So many different ways, but one of the biggest ways, and I think all of it really is rooted in action, right? Like we think confidence is like this noun, something we have or we don't have, and we wait to have it to take action. But really, like confidence comes from taking action, and you have to act almost greater than how you feel, right? Don't act how you feel, act greater than how you feel, embody the person who you want to become. So if you want to be confident, like what would a confident person do? Go do that. Maybe you don't do like the biggest thing possible, but like, what are just small ways that you can kind of push yourself out of your comfort zone and like see that everything's okay. And in doing so, you're going to start to embody the being of a confident person.
Interesting. Now that's an interesting take. Now, when we talk about self-confidence, I feel like personally, I've, for the most part, have felt confident in myself. Now, the reason it's easier for me to feel confident in myself, because I'm a spiritual person, I'm a believer. I'm a believer in God. So I feel like for me, because I know my purpose and I know my mission, I feel like that's easier for me to go out and be confident in what I'm trying to do throughout my day to day. I feel like, confidence, like a lot of people's confidence, they feel like it comes from other people. And I don't believe that. I feel like in order for you to have confidence, you have to believe in yourself. It starts with yourself. And don't get me wrong. Like I love social media. I love social media. I really do. I think it's a great tool to use. I think it's a great way to connect. But I feel like nowadays people's self-confidence has diminished because when they go on social media, they see people doing what they think they doing better than them, and all of a sudden they feel like, man, like I ain't doing nothing compared to what this person doing. I ain't doing nothing compared to like what Beyonce or Jay-Z is doing. Like what I felt like, I was doing something and then I see them, with all this going on and I don't feel like I'm worth anything because I don't have followers. I don't have likes. And it's like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? And it's also the comparison. I feel like social media, I feel like a lot of people, play the comparison game where they're like, oh, in order for me to be successful, I must, for example, I'm using a fitness example because I'm in the fitness, for me, I can bench about 225, between 225 and 300. Some people might look at that as like, oh, that's not enough weight. Like, you should be benching like 405, 500 pounds in order to be something. It's like, bro, like, come on now. Like, I feel confident in myself because I know from a fact, like before, like 2 years ago, I couldn't do that. So it's basically believing in yourself and knowing how far you've came. That's how you can build that confidence instead of looking at what somebody else can do, right? I feel like, being able to look at yourself and where you came from and knowing that, you're not what you used to be, that can give you that confidence to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And you don't want to compare, right, your like day one to someone else's day 500. So like you looked at like the Beyonce example. I mean, she's not on day 500. She's on day like, I don't even know. we're way in the thousands, but like it's so quick to compare like your day one, your day two to someone's day 500. If they've been doing this for 2 years, well, yeah, obviously they're gonna be ahead of where you are, where you're starting. And it's cool when we have those people who we're sort of comparing ourselves to and being like, oh, like, why aren't I doing it if they're doing it? Because those people are actually expanders. And what you can do is start to look at them as sources of inspiration. And instead of being comparison and being like, why aren't I doing this? You look at them and you're like, oh shit, like, sorry, I don't know if we can curse on here, but if they can do it, I can
Too
do
late
it
now.
too. Like if they can do it, then I can do it too. And also with social media, really starting to ask yourself, like, what else might be true? Because we are so quick to glorify other people's lives based on what they post on social media. And you're really only seeing the smallest little glimpse of their life. And you have to start to ask yourself, what might I not be seeing beyond the camera? And even if you feel like you're seeing like a full picture of them, just asking yourself what else might be true, right? So someone who's really successful in what they're doing career-wise, maybe they don't have any friends. Maybe their relationships are suffering. You really never know the holistic view of someone's life, and you don't want to just glorify the part that you're seeing because you're like comparing your entire life to someone's highlight reel.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like with social media, don't get fooled, man. Don't get fooled by the highlights you see on social media, man. Because it literally they showing the best moments. Like when you look at a relationship on social media, you look at a guy, you look at a guy and a girl, for example, like what I'm saying, and they out there traveling, they on the beach somewhere, they got a big house and a dog and a picket fence, you know what I'm saying? And you looking like, man,
Not
like
at all.
they look like they living the best life, man. Like they out here showing you showing you all the highlights, but you probably didn't see what they was going through behind closed doors. You didn't see like the fights and the arguments and the times they almost left, you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't see that. And so, you thinking that a relationship got to be picture perfect. We'll just use a relationship as an example. Some people, they don't feel confident in going into another relationship because they feel like it needs to be picture perfect. Like they got like all these list of things that they want people to do. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
It's like, people be on there like, I need a man, I need a woman who can do this. She can't do this. She can't do that. She got to be this. She got to be that. It's like, bruh, come on now, you ain't never gonna find nobody at that rate. You gotta have that confidence to be able to go out and be able to like trust that other person is not going to be like the last person. I'm still personally, I'm still trying to find me somebody now. I attempted to go on a date some last week, or not last week, like it was like 2 weeks ago or something. And this girl literally like said a bunch of things that could have killed my confidence, because she kept, saying stuff about me that I was like, really? You know what I mean? But I feel like it happens. But you can't let what somebody else say to you, dictate where you keep going in your future. You can't let that stop you. So here are a couple ways that I try to, build my self-confidence. Now, these are like two simple ways. It's not really that complicated. I mean, I have like two things that I do to help me build confidence when I go out. One is you got to think positive thoughts about yourself. And two, you got to think positive thoughts about the situations you go into. I'm going to say it again because I think you missed it. You need to catch this right here. One, you need to think positive thoughts about yourself. And then you need to think positive thoughts about the situations you go into, right? So thinking positive about yourself, as simple as looking in the mirror and saying, you look good today, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, that's it. You look in the mirror, you be like, man, I'm the flyest person alive. Like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I can go out here and be the baddest person alive. It's just simple. It may sound silly, but I'm telling you, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you are the best person, in this whole entire world. Because if you don't, then nobody else gonna do it. Like, it's crazy how people be like asking people, do I look good today? Like, is my hair look good? Like, does this outfit, does this make me look fat? Like, it's just like, bro, like, why are you asking me? If you tell me that you the flyest chick on the planet, I'm gonna believe you. Why? Because you said that. You said that. How am I gonna tell you who you supposed to be? So it's basically knowing that before you step out in the world, knowing that you can tell yourself you got this. That anything that anybody say don't matter, because the only thing that you say is what you matter. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And when we're constantly seeking validation from others, like in saying like, does my hair look okay? Is this outfit okay? Do I look good in this picture? It doesn't matter how many people tell us yes, we still won't feel like we look good, because that validation has to come from within, and you're seeking it outside of yourself. And no matter how many people you get it from, you can never fill the voids within you from something outside of yourself. So it really does have to come from within. And this like that concept of you can never fill the voids within you from something outside of yourself is more than just validation, right? Like that happens in like jobs, money, whatever it's going to be. Nothing outside of you will ever fill the holes within you. You have to do that work yourself.
Right. And in the famous Bible verse, I'm gonna throw a Bible verse in you. I told you I was a spiritual person, so I actually like came across this yesterday. And one of the famous Bible verse in Psalms 56:11 says, "In God I trust; I shall not be afraid of what man can do to me." Man, come on now. You've already been verified by the Most High God. I'm telling you right there. Let me read again in case you missed it. In God I trust; I shall not be afraid of what man can do to me. So if you afraid of somebody making fun of you, if you afraid of somebody coming at you, you should not feel that feeling. Because if you know your value, this is what I learned from my pastor. If you know your value, you will not get bothered by people's opinions. Mm-hmm. Let me say it again, you missed that. If you know your value, and I've said this before, you will not get bothered by people's opinions. So it's basically going, like I was saying, going out in the world and basically believing that you can conquer anything. But like the thing is, I would lie to you and say that everything you try is going to work out. And that also lowers people's confidence as well, is when they try something for the first time and it don't work out the first time, they want to give up and quit. It's like, why? It's like, okay, like you didn't get the job the first time. I don't mean you can't apply for another job. I don't mean that you can't go back and reply. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you really want it, you got to keep going at it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like now people try to sell you success. They try to sell you, oh, if you in 30 days, you can sign up in 30 days, you'll be a millionaire in 30 days. Yeah. And then 30 days don't come, and then you like, man, well, shoot, it said 30 days. In 30 days, I'm supposed to be a millionaire. I didn't see you in 30 days. It's like, whatever you try to build, it takes time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to be able to start something. The starting part, to be able to start something is hard. Just like when I started doing this podcast, it was hard because you got to get momentum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to build that momentum. So like when I first started doing it, when I first started doing this podcast, it was hard because I'm like, okay, like, what do I come up with? What do I talk about? Like, where do I want to go with this podcast? Like, how do I reach people? Like, it's a lot of things that take time if you're trying to build something. Because, the famous saying is Rome was not built in a day. I know y'all, that's a cliche. I know everybody's heard that, but it's true. It's like whatever you try to start, whatever you try to go after, it's not going to happen like that. And the reason why so many of us lose confidence in ourselves, because we heard one person say no. They told us, no, you can't be that entrepreneur. No, you can't be that singer. No, you can't, be that CEO of a company or whatever, or that writer or whatever. We've heard no so many times. But the truth is, you're going to hear no more times than you hear yes. So you better get used to it. If you can't handle a no, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're doing. You're gonna fail more times than you succeed. That's just a fact. So if you learn how to embrace it and adapt it and be able to work around it, you're gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. But if you let failure keep you down, it's just gonna be permanent. because pain is only temporary. But if you quit, it'll last forever.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm like, yes, yes to all of that. 110% yes. And I mean, really, there is no such thing as failure. Failure is just feedback. And so when you can start to look at it as such, that's when you start to grow and when you start to change and you start to evolve. But when you're so committed to staying comfortable and only doing things that you'll succeed in, then you're going to stay exactly where you are. You're going to stay within your comfort zone. You're never going to grow. You're never going to become the person that you want to be. And so you have to start to just embrace failure as part of the process and just view it as feedback. View it as an opportunity to get better, as an opportunity to grow. It has nothing to do with you as a human being, with your worthiness, with your values. None of that. It's just feedback. It really is. It's just feedback.
Yeah, for sure. Because literally, like, I can count many times I failed, especially in school. Coming up in school, woo, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my grades, bruh, like I had the whole alphabet. I got A, B, C, D, F. I didn't got all the grades. But you know what? That didn't stop me from continuing to move forward. You know, I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if I told many guys this, but there was a time that when I was coming up in school, they said that my speaking skills weren't strong enough. They said, Christopher, you need to go in a speech class because we feel like your English, your vocab, like it's not there. So we got to put you in class. Like I was that student that had to be put in special ed classes, whatever it's called, right? For my reading, for my speaking, writing, math. Like I struggled through school. But you know what? I had to realize that I was going to have to be one of those kids that had to work harder than the rest. That's just how I was. And that's what I did. And then, like, when I got to high school, I made the Dean's List all 4 years. And you know what? And my test was saying I couldn't be this. My test was subpar. Like, if you take standard test, they like try to measure your score. They'd be like, oh yeah, like if you get a 500 or 600, like you advance, like you the best, brightest student. Like I was getting below average. But that didn't stop me from being who I am today. That didn't stop me because I had because people said in school that I couldn't speak. That didn't stop me from going after, pursuing a dream of doing a podcast. Or that didn't stop me from being able to write my book. You know what I'm saying? Like I struggled in writing. That was probably one of my weakest was writing. And, and a lot of people view that as, oh, like if somebody tells you that your writing is weak, a lot of people think that, oh, I can't ever become a writer because my teacher told me this. But you know what? I had to say, I'm going to stop letting my teacher tell me what I can do. And I'm going to start focusing on what I can do, what I have been called to do. So, there's going to be people that are going to try to tell you, oh, you can't do this because you ain't qualified. You're weak in this area. You're going to have all that. But you got to decide, you got to be able to push through that. Because what those people are trying to do, they're trying to limit what God can do. Let me say it again. The people that try to limit you are trying to limit you from what God can do. Because they didn't create you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who are trying to tell you no, the people that's trying to tell you, oh, you can't be this, they ain't create you. They don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't know you. They don't really know your capabilities.
Yeah.
They don't know that. So you have to stop listening to what people tell you. And you gotta start listening to what God will tell you. You know what I'm saying? Just like in the famous book of Joshua chapter 1. It's one of my favorite scriptures of the Bible, where it says in Joshua chapter 1:9, it says, be strong and courageous. Everybody, if you know the story of Joshua, how he picked Joshua to lead the people over to the promised land. And, he picked him out of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like God could pick anybody else, but he picked him. Why? Because he called him to do it. So when God calls you to do something, you got to go do it. You got to act on it. Don't be scared. Don't be like, oh, no, I don't know. Like this person said, I was too weak. This person said that I wasn't called. Stop listening to that person and start going after your calling. Because we talk about the 1% all the time. We talk about the 1%. The 1% are the people that learn how to operate within that gift and can go after and be confident in that and be able to embrace what gift they've been given by God. That's really it. So until you find that, until you start operating your gift, you're just gonna continue to keep falling short because you ain't never really gonna tap into your full potential until you have confidence in your gift. I'm sorry, I was talking too much. I was talking way too much. You know what I'm saying? I was getting a little. I went on a tangent. I want to give you time to speak because I know you're my guest. So,
No, it was great. And just what a beautiful example that you are to people to just keep going and to not take no as an answer. Just keep going, just keep showing up. And eventually those no's will become one yes at a time.
mhm. So Alexa, like, I'm sure that when you were starting this, when you were on your journey, I mean, I'm sure you probably faced some no's, right? How'd that make you feel? Like, did you ever want to give up? Like, did you want to quit? Like, how are you
Mm,
feeling?
It's a good question. So I did tons of mindset work before attempting to become a coach and before
Mhm.
attempting to coach others in mindset. And it's great that I'm a mindset coach and obsessed with mindset because mindset has so much to do with business, right? So like people who are trying to become a fitness coach who have never done anything with mindset, like I think that's just a battle and a half. Or people who are trying to open a restaurant, whatever it may be, and have never worked on their mindset, their own healing, like that's a battle. I'm so lucky that my passion happened to be what's going to make starting my business just a lot more of a smoother and easier process. So, yes, I face tons of no's. I continue to face tons of no's. I mean, in the sales, having like I'll just say 30% closing rate for now, whatever number it's going to be is great. Like 30% is incredible, which means you're getting 7 no's and 3 yeses. So you have to be able to deal with those 7 no's every single time. It doesn't matter how good you are at what you do, you are gonna always get those no's. Always get those no's. Like it does not matter how good you are at what you do, you will always get those no's. Tony Robbins gets no's. Oprah gets no's. Everyone gets no's. So really just learning how to embrace that as part of the process and not taking it personally, knowing that it has nothing to do with you, and almost just knowing that it's inevitable. Like it's like, okay, what could I have done better? What can I learn? Bet. All right, on to the next one, right?
Yes, ma'am. For sure. She said bed. That's the term I use all the time. I say bed. I'll be like, all right, bed. You know what I mean? I didn't learn that term until I came up to like Cleveland. Because people in
Really?
Cleveland, they always said that term bed. Yeah, like I never heard that. Where'd you hear that from? Where'd you hear that word bed?
People say that all the time.
In
In New
Mexico?
York? Not in Mexico.
I was like, I was
No.
like, I was like, I was like, hold on. I was like, I know you didn't hear it in Mexico.
No, but I grew up in New York.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Like what part of
Yeah.
New York?
Just like near the city.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Okay, there
Yeah.
we go. There we go.
You're like,
I
yeah,
was
no,
like,
they're not
dang.
saying it in Mexico.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But nah. I mean, like you said, everything was spot on for what you're saying. I mean, don't get it twisted. Like because we, speaking positivity, because we, trying to, explain like what we can do, to help y'all out. That doesn't mean we don't ever think negative thoughts. Like positive people think negative thoughts. Just remember that. Like as a motivational speaker, you thinking like, oh, like motivational speakers or mindset coaches, psychologists, all these people who can provide advice and help people out. They thinking that they got their life together. Don't get it twisted. We all face negativity. Everybody does. Everybody has those negative thoughts that run through their mind. Even I got negative thoughts that I got to deal with. But the difference is positive people end up learning how to work around negative thoughts. They allow those negative thoughts not to grow in their mind. They don't allow them to grow. They kill them. It's just like if you ever try to kill weeds with a spray, you know what I'm saying? Like, when weeds will come up in your yard and you try to spray them boys, that's what you got to do with your negative thoughts. So don't let your negative thoughts grow to the point where that's all you thinking. Don't allow your negative thoughts to have a chance to be able to flourish, because if you do, that's all you're going to be thinking. It's funny how 80% of people's thoughts are negative, but I can see why, because the whole most of the world around us is negative. When you watch the news, it's negative. when you go outside your house is negative, right? So everything around you, well, not everything, but most things around you are negative. So it's kind of hard not to be able to think. So you may be wondering, how do I, how am I able to navigate around that? How am I able to can still think positive
Mhm.
when there's like so much negative things around me? One thing, I said this before and I'll say it again. Stop watching the news. Stop watching your news. I'm telling you right now. I know that y'all want to be informed. I understand. There's nothing wrong with being informed, but you got to stop watching. You got to start. You got to stop starting your day off with the news because it's all in the routine. So if you wake up and you already watching bad news, guess what? When you go throughout your day, you're gonna think you're gonna be anxious. You're gonna feel anxious. See, I
Right.
don't watch the news. I stopped watching the news in 2020 because it was just bad news. I'm sorry. Like I had to turn that boy off. Like I said, like it's all in the routine. So because I stopped watching news, like I said, I like workout. I like to work out, get up, work out. I do my I say my prayers. I like to be able to meditate, be able to relax a little bit, just being able to get into those positive habits, or I even read a book. I like reading, instead of TV, I like to read. So it's just basically being able to filter because your mind got to filter. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So you got to filter out what you listen to, what you hear. You know what I mean? You just got to have that strong filter because you can't escape it. I mean, let's just be real. Like, when you go out, I'm not saying that you can completely get rid of negativity. That's not going to happen. But it's all about how you filter it. It's all about what you choose to answer to, what you choose to listen to. And
Mhm.
if you continue to allow those negative things to feed your brain, then that's what you're gonna become.
Mhm.
You know, you are what you think.
Mhm.
So in order to really, prevent yourself from becoming negative, you gotta just put that shield, you gotta put that guard up. You gotta put that guard up, man. You gotta go to war. You gotta, be able to knock it out like that 1-2. You know what I'm saying? Like boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? When somebody try to hit you with that negative, you do that 1-2. Just 1-2. You know what I'm saying? That could be the exercise for y'all. Just 1-2. Like for real, for real. Like, just be in the mirror, just be like, all right, anxiety, boom, depression, boom, just like knock it out. You know what I'm saying? Get some gloves, have fun with it. I'm trying to help y'all out here. Come on, get in the mirror, just be like, boom. See, some of y'all gotta practice this stuff. Some of y'all, I mean, you gotta fight your fear. I mean, you going to war every single day. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you gotta put the whole armor of God because you going to war every single day. Somebody gonna be attacking you. So
Mhm.
in order to, in order to protect yourself, you gotta put your guard up. You know what I'm saying? Allow, anxiety to be filled with joy, right? That's how you counteract. That's how, boom, you know what I'm saying? See, I told Alexa, I said, you know what? I said, when you come on the show, you're gonna get some energy. I told her, I said, she didn't know what she was working with. She didn't think I was serious.
No, I thought you were serious.
No, I told her, I said, I got unique ways, but I feel like, that's why, for me, I'm able to stay positive. I'm a positive person. I wasn't always like that. But I became positive because, like I said, those simple things, make a difference. It's the little things. You don't got to be some big book. You don't have to go buy no book, buy no 200-page book on how to be confident. You just got to just believe in yourself. That's
Mhm.
it. You save your money right there. Save your time and money right there.
You're welcome. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Also, I wanted to just touch on something that you mentioned was just about how like 80% of our thoughts are negative, or, there's all those different statistics. And the reason why so often that we're so negative is because we've created so much safety for ourselves in low expectations and so much safety for ourselves in negativity. So someone who says something like, things never work out for me, things are always a disaster, like they may have created safety for themselves in those low expectations because they're so scared that if they allow themselves to be positive, they're just going to be let down, or they're going to trigger a part of themselves that's going to be disappointed, upset, whatever it may be, whatever traumas are going to pop up. So it's really important to not just like preach positivity, because like, yes, that's great, we want to think positive thoughts, but like there's a reason, like a very good reason why you're tending to be negative, and it's there to protect you and to protect like what could come up if it wasn't there. And so just being like cognizant of that, and starting to tell yourself, like, even if, like, things do hit the fan, I am triggered, like, I got this.
There you go. That's it right there. And as we wrap up the show real quick, we did say a lot, and it's only been like 30 minutes, but we hit you with a lot right there. But I wanted to save this for the end of the show because this was another great point that I heard a few days ago on Sunday from my pastor. My pastor be preaching. My pastor be spitting facts. See, I be getting like fuel, like it's just like fuel for me, you know what I'm saying? And I love to be able to take it with me, like all these principles I learned, from others. I always love to be able to, give it back onto others. In order to give, in order to receive, you must give. Come on, somebody. But anyway, one great point that I heard from my pastor, and I thought it was a phenomenal point. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up with this: is in order to change the life that you have, you must change the words that you speak. Come on, somebody. I'm gonna say it again. If I say it again, I want you to get it. I want you to catch it. To change the life you have, you must change the words you speak. You got to walk it like you're talking. Come on, somebody. Remember that? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Alexa, I know you probably heard that song "Walk It Like I Talk It" by the Migos. You know what I'm saying? Walk it like I
Yes.
talk it. Hey, walk it like I talk it. Hey, see, that's what you gotta walk out in life doing that. You gotta be like, walk it like you talk it. You gotta walk it like you talk it. So instead of walk it like I talk, walk it like you talk it. Come on now. Because if you want positivity, you got to surround yourself with positivity. If you want to think positive, you got to speak positive. Mm-hmm. So if you going around saying that you ugly, then you ugly. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be like, I'm beautiful. I'm the best. Mm-hmm. I'm worth it. I'm deserving. You got to be able to tell yourself these things, man. Because if you speak negative, you're going to get negative. If you go into a job and you say, I'm not going to get the job, then guess what? You ain't going to get the job. You can't be thinking like that going to interview. It's crazy how people like be going to situations, be like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, what if this don't work? Like, what I'm saying? You just got to be confident. And it goes to like anything, like even relationships, even like if you see somebody that you like, you just gotta go out and get it. Like, what I'm saying? If you see that nice girl, you see that nice dude, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta go, present yourself. Don't be scared. That's a real common example because a lot of us we like to build relationships. We like to get to know people, especially on another level. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is, but a lot of us, when we see that girl, we see that dude walk by, we're like, oh shoot, he way out my league, man, or she way out my league. I don't know. How you know? Maybe she feel the same way, or maybe he feel the same way like you do, but they just went on you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't think worst case scenario. You gotta start thinking best case scenario. It was like, oh, if I, talk to this girl, like, you don't know, that could be your wife right there. That could be your husband right there. You know what I mean? Like, or that job, like you could, become the next big thing. Like you may think, oh, like going after this position, like it may seem like impossible. It may seem like, oh, I'm not qualified, but how would you know? Maybe you the person they're looking for, but you would never know, if you continue to like prevent yourself from doing it. If you continue to think like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it, like I'm not qualified. If you keep saying those things, that's what you're going to get. So I would say be careful what you put out there, because what you put out there is what you're going to get back. You reap what you sow. So if you reaping that, then that's what you're going to get. If you saying you ugly, if you saying you no good, then guess what? That's what you're going to get back. That's the type of energy you're going to get back. But if you put positivity out there, guess what? You're going to get positivity. But if you put negative out there, guess what? You're going to bring negativity onto you. And you're going to continue to be miserable until you change that attitude. Fix your face, boo-boo. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it.
She ain't got nothing to say. She's shocked. She's shocked. She was not expecting the sermon. She was like, man.
No, I really wasn't.
She was like, amen to that.
Literally.
Like, yeah. But that's really it. Like, and I know this, from a fact. I know this being a mindset coach. You gotta speak it. Because if you don't speak it, then what? You know what I mean? Then what does it mean? If you don't believe in yourself, who else gonna believe in you? If not you, then who? Come
Exactly.
on, come on. I keep
Exactly.
spending times right here. This might have been my best episode right here. Come on now. I was feeling it. See,
I love it.
I wanted to go in a certain direction, but I was taking in a different direction.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that's just how
we
it
gotta
is.
let it happen sometimes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But anyway, man, I thought I would just leave y'all with that. Man, it was a great episode. What you think, Alexa? What you
I
think for
think
the
it was
first time
great.
being on here?
It was great. It was great. I loved it. I hope that people take action.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to follow Alexa on Instagram, her Instagram is at Alexa K Mart,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So once again, at Alexa K Mart, no spaces, no
No
capitals. So if you
spaces,
want to
no
follow her,
capitals, no
there you go.
underscores.
There you go. So if you want to follow her on Instagram, go ahead and do so. If you follow her on Instagram, you'll be able to see that she got a free 5-step guide to saying no. So if you want to click that link in her bio, you can get some free resources right there.
Yeah.
If I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I have tons of free resources on my website, on my Instagram, lots of stuff. So yeah, for sure. I'd love to connect with people. You can drop like a microphone in my DMs if you follow me, so I know where you came from.
There you go. There you go. That's what's up. So yeah, definitely go check out Miss Alexa on Instagram. Once again, that's at Alexa K Marta, right? Yeah, Mart. Like Kmart. Okay.
Exactly.
Alexa K Mart. Alexa K Mart. Go check her out on Instagram, and also go check my page out on Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life. There's no spaces, no capitals. Once again, that is at Disinfecting Your Life. No spaces, no capitals. And also for those of you who still use Twitter, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as well. So follow me on Twitter at DisN Your Life and the number 1. So again, that's at DISN Your Life 1 on Twitter. And for Facebook, for those of you, I refer to y'all as my older generation. If y'all still using Facebook, follow me on Facebook at Disinfect Your Life. So again, on Facebook, that is at Disinfect Your Life on Facebook, man. Like I said, you can see all the latest and greatest things that's going on with the episodes. You can see all my little clips that I got on my social media pages. In case you wondering what's been going on with the podcast and everything like that. Also, reminder, go check out our merch. So if you follow us on Instagram, there's a link in our bio, and you can see that in the link tree, there's a tab that says merch. So if you click on the merch tab, you will see I got t-shirts and hoodies. So I'm rocking the hoodie right now. Step towards your purpose. Come on, we're doing that in 2021. Step towards your purpose. The hoodies are on sale. So if you want a hoodie, you want to get you some cool merch. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. We got to walk it like you talk it, right? Walk it like you talk it. Come on now. So if you want some Step Towards Your Purpose t-shirts, or if you want the fall gear, depending if you somewhere in the north like me in Ohio and it's cold, you probably gonna need one of these, boy. You're gonna need some of these sweatshirts. So definitely go check out our sweatshirts and our hoodies. Sweatshirts and our shirts that are on eBay, but you can get direct access if you click on our link in the Instagram and click the merch tab. And like I said, I'm going places, baby. I'm going places. We're gonna continue to have more guests. I'm gonna have a very special guest on. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but we're gonna have a special guest on here in a minute. It's funny how we connected, but we will talk about all that on the next episode. So anyway, Ms. Alexa, you got anything you want to close us out? You got any last words, any words of wisdom before we head out?
No, I feel like we hit them with a lot. This is great. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Yeah, for sure. And like I tell all my guests, this is not the last time you can be on. I mean, like I said, like I tell all my guests, like you are welcome. Like they say, mi casa, su casa. Did I say that right? Come on now.
You did.
I know a little bit of Spanish. I took a little Spanish, coming up in school. You know what I'm saying? Like I took a little Spanish. Now I don't remember it that well. I just remember hola. I remember how to say hi, hola. I can just do that. Como está? Que pasa? Come on now. I know a little something. You know what I mean? But like I said, mi casa, Sukasa, Alexa. So you are welcome to come on anytime. You want to continue the conversation. We can most definitely make that happen. But
Okay.
anyway, this your boy, Chris Simmons, alongside special guest, Alexa Martin. We out.
Thank
Take care,
you.
y'all. Peace.